Hello my viewers, welcome back to the channel. By the video title, you know what this video is about. The top receiver, well actually 5 receivers I think the Steelers should look at, prospects they should look at to maybe consider drafting. As you guys know, the Steelers have a first round pick, they have a second, they have 2 thirds. They traded Kenny Pickett to get that extra third from the Eagles. They have the 98th pick from the Eagles they got sent over. So we have some top picks, some good picks in the right spots as well. My probably prediction, the Steelers will probably go in the draft. They'll probably go like me. I would personally try to get a guy like Cooper DeJean, like I mentioned before, or a guy like Nate Wiggins. That'd be great guys too. I feel like if a guy like that, those guys like that are available, you have no choice but to go out there and take one of those guys. Because those guys are very elite. But most likely the Steelers are going to go a different approach because those guys will not be available. Most likely they're gonna probably fall. They probably won't fall that far. They probably be around like 10, 11, 12ish, gone before our spot. Because we win at like the 21st pick, so it'd be a while before they get to us. But I think the Steelers would be better at getting probably right tackle first, which probably be Marius Mills. We'll see what happens. And then probably in the second round, get a Zach Frazier, get you a Cedric Van Pran or something if they're still there. They might, and what Cedric Van Pran might be there, maybe be there like in the 3rd round. So you never know what could happen. But I feel like you should go right tackle first, and maybe center 2nd round or 3rd round, and then 2nd and 3rd round this should be either center or receiver, and that other 3rd round pick too as well. So I feel like it might be right tackle, center, receiver, and then cornerback like that. So we'll see what the Steelers do. But these are some of the receivers I have on my list I thought the Steelers should look at. As you guys know, I'm a big fan of Malachi Corley. Malachi Corley, if you see his highlights, you see him play, he's very A.J. Brown-esque, very Antonio Brown-esque. He's very good with the ball in his hand. He calls himself the yak god. So he get the ball, yards after the catch. So he get the ball in his hands, put his foot in the ground, he make things happen. He's very physical as well. He don't shy away from contact. A lot of receivers, they catch the ball and fall down, shy away from contact. He looks for contact. We see him run guys over, see him get the catch balls in the air, contested catches, taking hits, delivering hits of his own. And we see him, like I seen the one play, he was on the sideline. I think I'm gonna have this in the clip. On the sideline, he was tiptoeing, staying in bounds. He jump cut out, jump cut back in. He's very elusive and very versatile. So I feel like he'll be a very good like complimentary player on the other side of George Pickens. He's a nice player, and I think you look at his numbers. You look at his 2022, he had 101 catches in college. 101 receptions in college, and he had 1,293 receiving yards and 11 touchdowns in 2022. And in 2023. He has 79 receptions, 984 yards, and 11 touchdowns. So he's been very consistent. He's been very good, very productive, very consistent. Been the best player on his team for the past 2 years. So I feel like if he's available there for you, you gotta go out there and take him. He's a nice player. It's a nice addition to add to the team. So if Malachi Corley is there, I don't know if he's gonna fall to the 3rd round. Some people say it could be 1st round, maybe late 1st round pick or 2nd round pick or something. So we'll see what happens. But if we have an opportunity to get him, I think we take him because he can be generational. He has that ability, I feel like, that 2nd gear to turn it up a notch in the NFL. And now we got Russell Wilson added. We'll have Justin Fields for the future as well. The O-line has gotten better and stuff. I feel like he'd be that missing piece to have on the outside. I know it's going to be more of a run-based team, but it's always great to have those 2 guys who can get open. So we have a guy in George Pickens who can get open, and a guy in Malachi Corley who can get open and make plays down the field, open up so much more for the offense. So I thought the Steelers should look into that. The next guy I have on the list, of course, is Ricky Paracel from Florida. Ricky Paracel, I mentioned him before on the channel before. Very shifty. He reminds me of somebody in the league, like a Jarvis Landry, Hunter Renfrow type. A guy who can work in the middle of the slot. He can work on the outside too as well, but work in the slot a lot too as well. Very shifty, quick route runner as well. Very tough and physical. You see those big catches he make. He has great ball tracking skills. A lot of guys, when they get down there, sometimes they struggle at tracking the ball. He has great sideline awareness, great ball tracking skills as well. And we've seen the improvements. You see he's been very consistent as well and very productive getting down the field. And this past season, he became more of a deep threat getting down the field and creating separation for his team. And he has some strong hands. Strong hands. He's very good at contested catches when the pressure is on, the defense is on him. He's great at getting in front of the defenders and stacking them well and getting good leverage and making plays. So Ricky Paracel is a nice player. You look at him, I like his shiftiness. I like his quickness. Use him in the slot. You can use him outside as well too. It's always great to have receivers who have that versatility to play inside and out. But Ricky Paracel is available. You gotta take him maybe. The next guy I have on the list is Johnny Wilson. Johnny Wilson is from Florida, but not Florida, that one, but Florida State. He had 43 catches last year and 897 yards. and 5 touchdowns in 2022, I meant to say. In 2023, he had 41 catches, 617 yards, 2 touchdowns. He is a freak of nature. If you guys haven't seen probably from the highlights right here, he's 6'7". Yes, a 6'7" receiver, which is, you don't really see that too often. Most of the time you might see guys who are that tall be tight ends, but he's not as big as a tight end, but he's not as small as a receiver. So it's kind of like a hybrid type of player. And if you look at his play style, it kind of reminds me of a Mike Evans a little bit. Smooth route runner, know how to use his height, know how to stack and get in front and use leverage. We see those big time plays he make when cornerbacks try to get physical with them, knowing how to create separation and use his size advantage to get up over them and make plays. Great sideline awareness as well, strong hands too. So I feel like if he's available, you look into that too as well. I know the Steelers, I know his play style would be kind of similar to George Pickens, a contested catcher and making plays down the field. But the Steelers was looking into Mike Williams. Mike Williams is a big player getting down the field, but the Jets, signed him, of course. But the Steelers was looking into Mike Williams. So I think the Steelers looking for a guy who could be a deep hitter, contested catch guy, deep hitter. Because I think George Pickens' play style going to switch up a little bit and be more of a move the sticks type of guy and be more of a true receiver one type of guy. So I think if you get a guy like Johnny Wilson, a 6'7" guy who can run a 4.4, who can get down the field, who know how to use and control his body and use his height as well and athleticism, I think he'll be a dynamic, game-changing piece. You don't really see that too often. I know we've seen I think Kelvin Benjamin. Kelvin Benjamin was like 6'6" before. I think 6'5", 6'6". Mike Evans, of course, 6'5". David Funchess, I think, was 6'6" or 6'5". Like, especially some tall receivers like that. I remember Ed Too Tall was like, I think the receiver for the Eagles. I might be saying his name wrong. Was he a receiver or DB or somebody? I don't know, in the old days or somebody who was like 6'8" or something. Like way in the old days. I think I might be saying it wrong, but so you don't really see that too often though. Like a 6'7" receiver, with that speed, that versatility, and athleticism, and agility as well. So I think if he's available, and the Steelers do want to go that approach of being a run and gun type of team, kind of like the Bruce Arians style a little bit. Bruce Arians is well known for that. Run and gun. Running and setting up for those big play actions down the field. Bootleg rollouts to get deep shots down the field. So I feel like, hey, the Steelers are looking to do that type of style of offense with Arthur Smith being here. I think a guy like Johnny Wilson would fit perfectly in that scheme. I know Arthur Smith had Drake London, who was 6'5", 6'6", around that range. In Atlanta, he utilized him a lot as well. So I think Johnny Wilson will be a good addition to add. And the next guy on the list is Luke McCaffrey. Luke McCaffrey is the son of Ed McCaffrey. As you guys know, Broncos Super Bowl champion. A pretty good career as well. I think he had like 8,000, 9,000 yards, close around that range. I could be mistaken, but he had a pretty good career as a player. And his brother is, of course, Christian McCaffrey. For the 49ers, who've been playing phenomenal too, having pretty good seasons as well. I think back in Carolina, he had 1,000 receiving yards and 1,000 rushing yards. And then ever since he got to the 49ers, he's been absolutely balling, helping lead them to the Super Bowl. I think he was Offensive Player of the Year, if I'm not mistaken, as well. So Chris McCaffrey's been playing very good football. And Luke McCaffrey, the little brother, from Rice, receiver. In 2022, he caught 58 receptions, 723 yards, 6 touchdowns. But last year, he had 71 catches, 992 yards, 13 touchdowns. And his play style, he's a deep threat type of guy. Deep threat type of guy. Straight line speed, we can get down there. You see a lot of plays he make when he get in open space. He can create separation like that. Nice route running too, getting down the field, and he just make plays. He's not as physical, as some of the other receivers on this list right here. Not like in physicality standpoint of like run blocking, but we don't really need him to do that. Most of the receivers, a lot of receivers in the league, some receivers can run block. I think some of the best in history, of course. You look at Hines Ward, you look at Larry Fitzgerald, the guys who could go out there and just knock people out, lay them out like an extra blocker out there. But as long as you can distract them, like we see Chad Johnson, he used to do when he played. Antonio Brown, same thing. They're so good at route running, they look like they're running a route on a run play, and it takes some guys out because they get distracted. Like, oh shoot, he's not in the play, and they distract some guys. So he probably could become one of those type of guys to get people out the way when running the ball. But Luke McCaffrey, if he's available, you gotta take him. I think he probably could be available maybe 3rd, 4th round. A lot of people got my kind of around 3rd, 4th round ish. And I feel like the Steelers already go receiver once. You could possibly get 2 receivers. You might can go get 2 receivers. You never know what could happen. So the Steelers went and got a receiver in the 3rd round. And say, for instance, Luke McCaffrey, I don't think he's going to be there still, but say, for instance, he was still there in the 4th round. You're like, I'd take him too. Like that. So you have Pickens, you have the receiver you draft in 3rd, and Luke McCaffrey maybe. Or you just go and get Luke McCaffrey. But I think he may be a guy that probably be available around 3rd, 4th-ish round this because his receiver class is just so deep. You look at all the guys who are in his class, Marvin Harrison Jr., you got Rome, you got Malik Neighbors, you got Brian Thomas Jr., you got all these different talented guys. Leggett, that big receiver from Carolina. You got all these different guys in this draft class. So of course, you see some of these guys who could be possibly, if they was in a different year, maybe the first round picks or second round picks. But since the draft class is just so deep and so talented, they might slip down to like second round-ish, around that range. But we're gonna see exactly what they are. But Luke McCaffrey is available. You gotta get him. Shifty, quick, nice route runner, deep threat down the field. He made plays. The Steelers need a deep threat. I know Calvin Austin's on our team. He made some plays. Made a few plays like early in the year, but you know he was injured a lot. But getting a guy who's a consistent deep threat, I think McCaffrey is 6'2" as well and ran a 4.4, so he has some speed on him. He's tall as well and know how to use and track the ball, so I think he's a nice addition. The last one I have on the list is Jalen Polk from Washington. As you guys know, he transferred. If you guys know, if you guys follow his career, he transferred from Texas Tech. Remember, he's at Texas Tech at first, a little bit, you know, coming out of high school, people are like, okay, you have a lot of hype around him and stuff. And in Texas Tech, it didn't really work out a lot. But when he transferred to Washington, it started clicking real good. You see his first year at Washington, he had 41 catches, 694 yards, 6 touchdowns. And then last year, the year that Washington went to the national championship, he put up 69 receptions, 1,159 yards, and 9 touchdowns. And a lot of people have to have a knack on him and say, well, he's not really that fast. I've seen some draft profiles on. They say he's not really that fast. He's not he don't have acceleration. But if you look at the highlights I'm showing you, you look at if you actually watch this game, I watched a good amount of Washington games. You see that, you know, of course, we know they have Rome, of course, who is the #1 receiver, but you'll see him make a lot of plays on the field. And like, he might not be, I think he ran a 4.5, which is still pretty fast, but I guess they want guys to be 4.4, 4.3-ish nowadays. But he ran a 4.5, so he might not seem, people might see that as like a slower speed, but if you look at his film and you see how he get open downfield, he's a very good route runner, very precise, a good route runner. He know how to get open, he know how to create separation. You see the big plays he made down the field. He's good at contested catches as well. He can be a dynamic #2 receiver and could emerge as #1 receiver as well too. So I feel like, you know, like guys like Jerry Rice. You know, Jerry Rice, remember they said he ran like a 4.8. They said Jerry Rice ran a 4.7 or something like that, 4.6, 4.7. But if you watch Jerry Rice film in his games, his highlights, you'll see Jerry Rice did not run a 4.6, 4.7 in game time, because he was out there, he made big time plays getting down the field. So I feel like Jalen Polk is a good player, deep threat player, has that route running ability that you love to see and getting open. And like when you tell somebody to be at point A, he's exactly at point A. He don't be nowhere off. He's always exactly in the right spot. See, Michael Penix Jr. and him had a great connection in college. I feel like he's the guy who could be a sleeper in the draft. A lot of people talking about, of course, his counterpart Rome, all the other receivers as well. But I feel like he could be a guy who could be a sleeper. Might fall to second round-ish. Maybe, I don't think third round. I don't think he'd be a third rounder, but most likely second round-ish. And you see him available there, you might have to go and take him. So we'll see what the Steelers do. Let me know in the comment section down below who you believe the Steelers should go out there and look for in the draft. I think most likely they probably draft a receiver, most likely third round. So we got 2 or 3rd round picks, but they could maybe do second round depending on who the receiver is. So let me know down below in the comment section who your top guys in the draft is from receivers. Of course, I didn't mention the Marvin Harrison and the Malik Neighbors guys, because those guys are going to be gone before we even get a chance to draft. So I mentioned these guys because these guys could still be available when we get our opportunity to draft too as well and look for a receiver. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time on the channel. And also, thank you guys for tuning in for the past videos and stuff, and getting the stuff and the traction up. But we got some more stuff coming as well. I got some more draft stuff coming, draft profiles of different players as well, and different scenarios, and discussing Steelers news, Miami Heat news, NBA news as well. The playoffs with the start up too as well. I might do a little coverage on March Madness. I know March Madness is going on right now. We see, I think right now they at the Sweet 16, so we're gonna see what happens in that standpoint. But just be on the lookout for content, and I'll see you guys when I see you. Peace out.